What do we have here? The notorious Twosun TS255. That's not called notorious. I don't really know what it's called. Clean that off, a little dirty there. I did some work on this one. Polish and anodized the clip and the collars, pivot collars there. The body used to be sort of a dark gray, you know, that kind of real dark gray that Twosun uses. It's like a bead blasted, I guess, or sand blasted. So I polished that a little bit to give it a little more of a satin look, you know. Also, this part used to come way out and kind of match with this, and this used to actually be longer too. Cut that down. The reason was I wanted to be able to try to make it into a front flipper. I noticed that it had this nice jimping here, and it went up above the pivot line, which is what you need to make a front flipper. So it's now a front flipper. Is it a great front flipper? Yeah, it's not bad actually. Now this Anodized is kind of in the way. As you pull it up to that, it runs into your thumb. Wish my dog would shut up. So you can do it, but you feel that thing. So without that, it would be a much better front flipper, I think. Actually, let's take that off just for the hell of it. So to take these Anodized off, it's pretty easy. You just unscrew this set screw right there and pull it off. Except this one is on there really good. So that I forgot about. I didn't quite get this one sized perfectly when I was filing on it. So it doesn't want to come off super easy. Luckily, I have the tools. So there it is without the Anodized. Let's see. Oh yeah, much better. I still need to maybe round off the underside of this flipper tab. I don't want to run off the top because it needs to have a little texture on it and a little bit of an angle to kind of catch your finger. But this bottom piece, when I try to front flip it, it runs into my hand right there. So if I round it off a little bit, it's going to really give more front flipper access to it. It could use a little more trimming down on these side pieces to get them out of the way too, which won't hurt anything, so I think I'm going to do that. It sticks out, but maybe not quite enough. It's neat to know you can do that though, right? You can take a knife that isn't a front flipper and make it into a front flipper. I got the same idea on this one. This is a Kaiser Sheepdog, so that jimping comes way up. It's only a hair above the pivot line, but it's pretty far out from the pivot line, so that's going to give you a little more leverage. So I think, let's see, once it's open, I can't do it when it's not open because these pieces are in the way, but once it's open a little bit and I can catch it, boy, it snaps open real nice. So I think it'll make a nice front flipper. We'll see. Anyway, on to the Twosun. Beautiful, beautiful carbon fiber. Really beautiful carbon fiber. Has a nice contour to it, and that's, you know, contouring carbon fiber is how you get this sort of differential look to it instead of being just a flat crisscross look. When you contour it, it starts bringing out the different angles of the different parts of the weave because it's a woven, you know, material. I like how it has it, you know, the same on both sides. Some knives will have, you know, a big piece on this side and only a small piece on this side, or none on this side. But I like how they do it on both sides evenly. I did some work on the detent, trying to lighten the detent up, and because it was super strong detent, and it was, you know, it was too hard to front flip with this really strong detent. But unfortunately, I went a little bit too far, and now it's got a little bit of a what they call Detent Lash. So that means when the blade is closed, it's not super solid. You can feel like a little movement to it when it's closed. It's not like it flops out. It doesn't flop out or anything. It's held in there, and when you go to press it, you actually have to put some pressure on it to make it go. But a little bit of movement there, which is sad. The other downside of this knife, which is just a personal preference, I don't love how the blade kind of comes straight and then kind of up. I'd rather have a blade that comes kind of like at least kind of parallel with this part of the handle. I like a blade to be down here, not curving up and away. It's just I don't know, it just looks almost like it's kind of bent backwards. It's not. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. And the spine is straight with the back of the blade. That looks fine. But I'd like the whole thing a little better if it was like that angle. Like that. So do that next time, Twosun, not this. This looks weird. Pet peeves, man. Little details. This is heat anodized. Just you polish up titanium and take a torch to it, and it starts turning colors. That's it. It's not dipped in acid like the lightning anodizing is. This is just heated up, and then stop heating it when it turns the color you want it. I mean, you can't just pick your color. There's only a few colors that it turns. You can't get red, for instance. A lot of times I'll cut my blades down and put the little harpoon and leave this part high to make a harpoon edge. This came this way, so that's definitely a plus. 14C28N, pretty good steel. Really pretty grind lines. Kind of looks rainbowy. Something about that particular type of grind looks rainbowy. I've seen it on other steels too, even. It's not just 14C. It's seen it on D2, seen it on M390. So, kind of cool. Did the back spacer too. That turned out pretty good. Very smooth. Real smooth action on it. Good sized blade too. I think it's about 3.7, 3.8. So not a baby knife at all. Not super heavy though. They've I think they did not mill it out inside. These must be fairly deep. These channels that this carbon fiber is setting down in must be fairly deep, because it's pretty light and it should be heavier if this was only a real thin veneer on top or something. So I'm going to guess these are down in there, 1/16 of an inch or something. Great knife. Great sound on the close. Pretty good job, Twosun, except for that blade angle. But otherwise, Twosun did a great job on this one. They could have used thumb studs. That would have been great. If they just came with thumb studs, they wouldn't have to put that aftermarket quick stud on there. But otherwise, great knife, man. I really love it. So don't hesitate on that one. Twosun did a great job. This is one of the, what do they say? About half the Twosun knives are kind of like have some kind of issue. This one, no issue, other than just this personal preference on the blade angle. That's it. Great knife. Have a nice day.